Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Jade and
Hi everyone.
I am the founder and head ginger of GingerBiscuit.
Hi everyone, my name is 𝘠𝘰𝘳𝘭𝘥, Tabi, and I am the head biscuit for GingerBiscuit. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our last Friday Connect session for the year.
Yes, of 2020.
Yes, where you get to spend time with both Lisa and I, and not necessarily a guest. So we just get to share and reflect on the year that has passed and what our expectations are for GingerBiscuit for the year ahead.
Should we get straight into it, Tabi?
I think so. So, friend. So what we'll do, similar to how we run all our other sessions, we generally ask a question and we allow a person to respond to the question. So because it's just Lisa and I, will take turns and we'll both respond because obviously our responses will never be the same because we're different. So for our first question, Lisa, if you can indulge us, what is your assessment of your own personal assessment of 2020, specifically in relation to sustainability and GingerBiscuit?
Okay, so we've seen over the past couple of years an uptick in people requesting sustainability as a service, as an outsourced service, and also businesses wanting to embed sustainability within their daily operations and how they look at it. Now, I think 2020 has been a year that has kind of driven that home for a lot of people. And the reason I say that is because, like we've said so many times with sustainability, is that it focuses on the environmental, social, and economic factors of something. And what has happened this year around COVID is that it's almost like people have become more aware of their impact on the world and our impact as human beings on the planet and also with each other, like we said in the last Friday Connect session. So there have been a couple of instances where people have felt that we have taken 2 steps back or a couple of steps back in the fight against the climate crisis that we are now experiencing. But there's also people that have felt that it's what has happened this year has shed a lot more light on everything and given things like the climate crisis, like various social justice issues, a spotlight, which has kind of shown people that we need to take action. We need to do something now on a collective scale. And how that would relate to GingerBiscuit is obviously all our services that we offer embed sustainability as a framework in one way or another. And so moving forward, we're looking at seeing a bigger reach and a bigger need for this type of service. You know, we have said in the Friday Connect sessions that the pandemic has brought single-use plastics and single-use items and waste to another level where we had done quite a lot of work on that. We've now kind of gone back. So looking forward, I feel like now more than ever is the time that people need to invest in sustainability. Have been given that opportunity now to do something different and to be different and to be better as human beings in relation to everything holistically, not just one aspect of it, but the entirety of it.
Yeah. You know, Elise, if I can just come in there, for me personally, 2020 has just highlighted the importance of having an organization such as GingerBiscuit that advocates for sustainability. And it showed me personally that there's definitely room for a business such as this, which is so exciting for me because it shows me that the future is bright. for
Yes.
GingerBiscuit, which is very nice. I think I'm fairly new to the space, and it's been such an eye-opening experience for me because it's been about me learning more and more about what exactly sustainability is about and how GingerBiscuit fits in the whole ecosphere of sustainability. And one specific example that I can think of, which I just found so fascinating, is how at the end of the lockdown, because of the pandemic, we noticed the benefits of people staying home, where pollution had decreased, and basically the earth seemed to be repairing itself. And I know in my initial excitement, I was like, oh my word, yes, gains. And when I spoke to you, Lisa, you were like, be careful, be very careful. This is not permanent, it's temporary, number one. Number two, it's just merely showing you the possibilities that exist. Do not be fooled and start thinking that, whoa, such big changes have happened, and for me, that was so eye-opening because I was sitting looking at this thing like, oh wow, and you, having been in the space for so long, you were able to take a step back and say, okay, I am grateful for what I see, but the reality is this is literally a drop in the ocean if I really want to look at the damage that's been done and look at a strategy to try to kind of repair what's the damage that's been done. So for me, that was just so interesting. So 2020 was great in the sense that it was an eye-opening experience for me as far as sustainability is concerned. And it also showed me that there's definitely space for companies such as GingerBiscuit and other companies that are in these sorts of spaces to actually make a difference. And it's not even just about making the money. Yes, we need to make the money because we live, we have families.
Yes.
But it's also about doing something that contributes, man. It's not always about taking. We also must give.
Yes.
And for me, that's why I love GingerBiscuit. It allows me the opportunity to give back.
Yes.
In a mouthful.
100%. But you know what has been also so interesting is that you came into this space, and we've spoken about it before, that that GingerBiscuit was like always waiting for you. And you came into this space and you've looked at sustainability because of your backgrounds within corporates and also working with communities. Correct. And your social background. It's incredible how you've also come into it and you've owned it and you're seeing it. And I think, that kind of brings us on to the next question, which was, what was your biggest takeaway from 2020 in terms of lessons learned? Because we are, as a GingerBiscuit, as the team of GingerBiscuit, we are continuously learning and we are continuously striving to do better and to be better. And we've recognized that we don't know everything, but we are always making sure that we have the opportunity to know more and more and keep growing with the process. So what would you say then were your biggest lessons?
I think if I have to look at what my biggest takeaways were, it kind of, I've always been conscious and I've always had the spirit of wanting to give and to help. And being in this space just kind of affirmed what I've always felt in my heart, that this is the kind of person I am. It's not enough for me to just live my day and just be about myself and my family. I'm the kind of person who always wants to help others and practice kindness and be inclusive. And I think being part of GingerBiscuit has just kind of, it's elevated that need in me to want to do better, to be better, to contribute in a meaningful way. So if I can really say my biggest lessons learned is just that I have been living a sustainable life, and it's just about increasing the manner in which I live in that way. So it showed me that, for instance, I need to be more more careful about. I mean, I know this might sound so basic, but for me, it's a big thing because it's I'm working on it. Things like my electricity usage, switching off plugs when I'm not using an appliance. And I mean, it might seem like such a little thing, but it makes a difference to me because it tells me that I'm conscious about how I treat the earth and things around the earth. So my biggest lesson, I suppose, is just that, is to be more conscious about how I do things, how I interact, and yeah.
Well,
and you, Lee?
Yeah, no, I think mine was going to be something very, very similar. I feel like the words that come to mind are conscious, mindful of realizing that we are all fundamentally connected and that nature isn't something that is foreign or not part of us. We are part of it. I think that it's realizing that we are not separate from nature and we are not separate from each other, is that everything has an impact on the other, whether we like it or not. So our actions are going to be felt for generations to come on a global scale. So it's the consciousness, it's the awareness, it's the mindfulness, it's realizing the connection. And then I think it's also a lot of resilience. Everybody, everybody, I mean, nobody has been unaffected by this. Everybody has been affected in one way or another. And like we've said before, we might not be, we're in the same storm, but we might not be in the same boat. And it's highlighted a lot of really things that are very uncomfortable for people to actually to look at. But I think within that uncomfortable space is you do have the resilience, and you like people have found strength within themselves to do things that they never thought that they would be able to do. And it's important that we see that and we honor that, because a lot of people watching this video now are still in a very, very dark space. And I think it's about seeing that and honoring that, and being cognizant of the fact. Moving forward, I like to hope that we have learned certain things from this as humanity, and that we are going to take a different viewpoint, and take action in ways that are appropriate. Because if we think that, if we see what happened with the pandemic on a global scale, and this is something that we will be able to get potentially relative control over through various avenues. But when it comes to something like the climate crisis, that's stuff that's going to affect us all. When no one will be exempt from that, and it's happening now. So yeah.
You know, I like something you said. You said some people are still in that dark space. You know, some people are actually quite low, and I think it ties in quite nicely with the next question, which is, what was your highest high and your lowest low for 2020?
I would like to give you the opportunity to start first with that. If you want to, of course.
You can, because it is something I thought about. And I'll start with the lowest low, because I just want to get that out of the way. I think losing a family member to COVID-19 was absolutely devastating. And not because it robbed me and my family of the time to actually mourn properly by preparing the arrangements, because it was just like everything was compact and you had to do everything quickly within 3 days. It was horrible. That was the lowest low for me. In terms of my highest high, and I want to end off on a positive note. You see what I did?
Yeah, I did.
In terms of my highest high, being part of the mentorship group with the 𝘠𝘰𝘳𝘺 has just been so, it's like contributed to my personal growth. It's been an eye-opening experience. It's taught me so much. And it's so funny because it's connected to the opportunities that I've also been getting to be a mentor. It's preparing me to be an even better mentor to my mentee. So, and I know, Lisa, that's one of the things that we want to do in the organization. We want to mentor people and give them the skill to be able to do what we do.
Yes.
And I think the opportunity we've been given of being part of this group of amazing women in the MySpace is just, oh my word, absolutely, definitely the highest high for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I relate a lot to what you're saying. We were saying earlier that no one has not been affected by this.
Yeah.
I think I'll follow in your footsteps and start with the lowest low. I think there's two lowest lows really. Was the one was also COVID related, as you know. You were there, we walked that journey together. Was when myself and members of my family caught COVID, and where you confront your own reality and your own mortality within that space, because you don't know what's going to happen. And then dealing with the after effects of it, the fatigue, the memory loss, that sort of stuff, and just not feeling at your best. I mean, that was a pretty scary thing. And I remember us talking throughout that, and also with what happened within your family and being there for each other. So even though it was so scary, I feel like there was a silver lining in the sense that we had each other, and there was a support, and I'm exceptionally grateful for that, because I mean, this is 20 years of friendship that we're talking about. We've gone through a lot together. So I think also the financial impact, because as people know, GingerBiscuit's main area of focus has always been in delivering experiences through events and through training and connecting with people in that manner, in that creative manner, and pushing sustainability through those channels. And so when what happened with lockdown happened, it kind of threw things a bit to the wayside, and it's been tough, and it's been tough for a lot of people out there in that respect. My highest highs, though, is I feel like you, I echo your words. The mentorship program has just been incredible. It's allowed, from my perspective, similar to yours, just to explore myself more and to learn and to grow and to listen. I feel like that's been a big thing this year, is listening and really hearing what people are trying to say, instead of seeing it at a surface level and allowing things to trigger me in ways, and leaning into this discomfort. So that for me is a positive. I mean, I've grown as a person exponentially over this past year. And the learning experience and the takeaways, and like doing the training with Climate Reality, and the people that we've had an opportunity to meet, even though it wasn't face to face, but still connecting with people and getting back to what is really, really important in life, and figuring out passions and dreams, and that we won't settle for what is less than extraordinary, and personal growth. Yeah. So, and also obviously something quite unexpected, which I know you're smiling about because I can see you know what's coming, is finding love in a pandemic. You know, and actually how beautiful that was, of not being able to meet someone instantly, and learning about the person, and growing with them, and taking away all that sort of stuff, you know. So it's been a tough year, but it's also been a year that I'm exceptionally grateful for, and I'm grateful for, most importantly, the people that exist within my life, such as yourself, and all the incredible people we've also had the opportunity of engaging with. So yeah, I'm not going to get emotional.
Oh no, that's why I had to get to the other bad stuff out of the way first.
Yeah.
Lisa, there's been a reoccurring theme, um, and it's gratitude. Every time
Yes.
we talk, every time we do motivation, connect sessions, gratitude keeps coming up more and more. And it's not a coincidence that we keep talking gratitude because that's how we're living our lives. And that's what's made such a huge difference between having the kind of year that we've had and looking forward to 2021,
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, for this space, for this partnership. And I'm curious, what can we expect for 2021, especially from GingerBiscuit? What do you think?
Well, there's a couple of things that we've got up our sleeve. We're both smiling because we know.
Yep.
Like I think this year, if we can just touch on this year, we've focused a lot on just getting the brand out there again, just letting people know who we are through the various social media channels. And we know that our marketing strategy within that space wasn't necessarily perfect. And we've spoken about that before, that it's not about being perfect. It's just about doing the work and getting yourselves out there, which is what we did. And we know where we need to improve, and we know where we need to be better, and we also know what works and what doesn't work. GingerBiscuit is very much about connection, and we thrive on that. We thrive on authentic connection. We are who we are, and we're just here. We're just us. So in 2021, we are going to be focusing more on the message that we are delivering to the world and the value that we are bringing through our work and also through our various social media channels. And I think that's really important, is providing people with the value, because it's not so much, we're not about that where it's just like, oh, we've got to sell our services and we're selling a service and people must just buy, that sort of thing. We really, really want to give back and add that value. And so people buy into that. That's our thing. 2021, seeing some new services come in relation to things like carbon reports and carbon footprints, growing our network, seeing how we can collaborate and partner with more people, delivering experiences in whatever way we're able to. We will adapt, and we have been adapting, and just really go big, I guess. Like, go big or go home. There's nothing to lose. Just keeping in line with our values and pushing forward.
Lise, if I may just echo what you've just said, you've summed it up so nicely. The only things that I can add is just that, like you said, it's about growth. It's about growing the organization from a resource point of view, from a financial point of view, and upskilling. We're about continuous growth in terms of the skills that we have. And that's also another area where we want to look and just improve ourselves in. And also brand awareness, create brand awareness as far as GingerBiscuit is concerned. I think we wouldn't be investing our time if we didn't believe or understand the value that GingerBiscuit has, So we want people to also have an opportunity to be privy to the value that GingerBiscuit has, because it's a great company. It really, really is. So it's one of those things that we'll be focused on, is just creating that awareness around who GingerBiscuit is, what GingerBiscuit does, and hopefully making a difference in other people's lives and changing how their perspective, especially where sustainability is concerned. That's where our focus is.
Yeah, no, you hit on something so perfect there when you said the value that GingerBiscuit adds, and tied to that is obviously the value that sustainability adds, because so often people think that sustainability is just a nice to have, or it costs an arm and a leg, or whatever the case is, where through what we're going to be doing next year, we will be showcasing that value. and giving people that opportunity. And just before we started this, you and I were also speaking about our social focus too, that we're going to be focusing very heavily on the social aspects, like you said, the mentorship, programs within various facilities such as schools, etc., growing people up within the green economy space in whatever way. So I don't know if you want to maybe just say a couple more words on that.
You know, funny you should say that. It's something that it's a thought that I had, but you know, when you just have so much information in your head, you just can't say everything. But I think people are sleeping on sustainability. And until people understand that the way in which you operate, if it doesn't include sustainability, will limit you in future. Yes. You might not see it now, but it will definitely limit you, and it will end up costing even more, if I can put it that way, if 100%. You don't tackle it now. And that's one of our things. We want to educate around that, around the value of having, of implementing or including sustainability in your business model right now, as opposed to waiting until later. And like Lisa said, we're so passionate about development, especially youth development and women empowerment, that these are the areas we've identified as areas that we definitely want to go into. We have so many corporate social responsibility projects that we have in our heads that we want to implement. And I think because we're just an organization that thrives on just being inclusive and helping others grow and upskilling others, that's fine. We keep mentioning the fact that this is what we have in store. So, you know, please keep looking out for GingerBiscuit. Follow us, like us, retweet us, whatever, you know. But keep your eye on us is basically what I'm saying. This is only the beginning. Watch this space. Watch this space, because more is coming. I think in closing off the session, we're just going to talk about our words of wisdom.
Oh, sorry.
And I think
it's just a very big bug that just flew past. He's big.
It went past again. I saw it as well. The joys of being one with nature, you know, chilling outside.
Yeah, that guy looks a bit scary though. I've never seen one like that before.
You're like, no choice.
Please go away. Apologies, Tabby. Okay? Yes, no all good. Apologies.
No okay, if you will allow me to share my words of wisdom, and you can close off, Head Ginger. For me, it's give thanks, practice gratitude, tell people you love them, tell them you're grateful for them, tell them you thank them, because they don't know. Unless you tell people, you know, I appreciate you, I value you, I love you, and I'm grateful to have you in my life, they're not gonna know.
Yeah.
So I think if I can encourage, even if it's just one person, to just practice gratitude, be grateful for what you have, because it's probably more than what the next person has. We tend to focus on what we think we don't have, and we focus on what we don't have, and we don't focus on what we do have.
Yeah.
That's where you lose the plot where gratitude is concerned. So just look around and be grateful for what you have today, and beyond. Practice gratitude. Those are my words of wisdom.
I think my words of wisdom for the year is to focus on the impact that you have. That every single day we all have an impact, echoing what you've just said, Tubby. We have an impact on the world around us and the people that we engage with, and focus on the impact that you are going to have, and decide consciously, make a decision on what you are going to bring to the world. And we're also all a lot stronger than we think.
Definitely. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, my partner. This has just been such a great ride, and I look forward to many, many more with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tubby, and thank you, and Blessings
Amazing
and
2021. We will see you next year.
And happy
Bye.
holidays. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.